Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I hope everybody's having a good day, had a good day, and had a good day yesterday as well. Pretty big slate tomorrow, Saturday slate, so you know there's always going to be plenty of games. And as always, if I do have any added plays, it will be in the pinned comment either later tonight or about an hour, 30 minutes before the game starts. I didn't have any yesterday for two reasons, or last video. One, because I really didn't find anything I liked, and two, I was at work, so I didn't really have time to look. But it's the weekend, so I am off tomorrow. I got the weekend off, so I am very more likely to have some added plays. So again, if I do have them, I'll put them there. And as you can see, it's not the usual robe I usually wear. Technically, we swept the player props. I'll just quickly go over the picks, I guess, before I get into the picks. If you don't want to listen, you can just skip through it. But we had two player props. One of them DMP because he didn't play, but the one that actually played hit. So technically, we swept, but I'm not really going to call it sweep, so I'm not wearing the other one. This one is what I'm going to be calling it the good luck robe. Hopefully, I'm not going to wear it every video, but whenever I feel like we need some luck, I'm going to wear it. Moneyline wise, we went 1 for 1. Inter Milan came through, and then Berlin scored 2. Stuttgart did not play good defense, so unfortunately that one missed, but hopefully we can do better today. And there's props that I found that I like, so I'll just get straight into those. And the first one is Andy Robertson to go lower than 73.5 passes, playing away from home for Liverpool, going up against Everton. He's got under this mark in 10 out of 12 games so far, so he's only gone over in 2 games. And they were actually recently, in the games he went over, he had 83 against Southampton, and that was because they had the ball a lot more than usual because they were 2-1 down since the 56th minute. So Southampton just focused on defending and just had to pass the ball. Liverpool were controlling the ball, and then he barely went over with 74 against Aston Villa, and that was due to Trent Alexander-Arnold coming off injured after 25 minutes. And I mentioned that because whenever Trent plays, they pass the ball a lot more on that right side because they have both Trent and Salah on that side. They don't really play as much on Robertson's side because he's not as good as a ball playing defender as Trent does. So that, and I just feel like this line is ultimately too high because Everton do allow the most passes in the league, so theoretically it would be a good matchup, but it's just too high of a line. He played him once last season, went under that mark. Liverpool has 76% of the ball, which is a lot, and he still went under with 64 pretty comfortably. And then the games that he went under against similar matchups, he went under against Bournemouth with 58 passes, who allowed the 5th most passes. Went under against Nottingham Forest, who allowed the 2nd most, have 44. Went under against Ipswich, who allowed the 2nd most passes, and went under with 56. So he went comfortably under this line in all of those games, and I think they're overestimating Robertson and how much he's going to get the ball. Everton's attack hasn't been great, so I don't see Liverpool going down, and I say that because whenever he went down, they went down against Southampton. He went over because they were controlling the ball a lot more. But Everton's attack hasn't been great, so I don't see that happening here. It's just too high of a line. I like this prop. He went under against them last season. I like Andy Robertson to go lower than 73.5 passes. And then the last player prop that I found that I like so far is Jasper Cillessen to go lower than 2.5 saves, playing at home for Las Palmas, going up against Valladolid. He's gone under this mark in 4 out of 13 games, which doesn't seem great. But their defense, first of all, for 2 reasons. One, their defense improves a lot better at home. To go from allowing 18.5 shots away, which is really high, to 12.9 at home, which is pretty average. And that's one reason why I like it. And then if you look at the games that he's gone over at home, he went over against Sevilla, who gave opponents keepers the 3rd most saves. Went up against Real, who gave up the most saves. Went up against Betis, who gave up the 2nd most saves as well, and then Girona, who gave up the 13th most, so below average. And 4 of the games that he went over at home were against the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd most saves that opponents give up against opposing keepers. But now he's going up against Valladolid, who is the complete opposite, who give up the 2nd least saves to opponents at 1.6. In 7 away games, Valladolid averaged 2.3 shots on target, and the opponents averaged 1.6 saves. So even if they manage to get 3 shots on target, at least one of those goes in. I don't see them getting many opportunities, especially because Palmas play possession of the ball, especially against these smaller teams. When they play bigger teams, they do tend to give some possession up, but when they play these smaller teams, such as, for example, Valladolid or Alaves, they control a lot of the ball, at least 60% of the ball. So Valladolid won't even get that many opportunities. They already don't shoot a lot. They allow the 2nd least. I just like the matchup. So I like Jasper Cillessen to go lower than 2.5 saves. before I get into the money lines real quick, if you guys could like the video, comment, it helps boost the video to more people, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you want to support the channel a little more, I do have the memberships. You also get the content out early before it goes public, because lines do tend to get bumped or taken away after the video goes public. And then any pictures that you do see on the screen is from a data app called Outlier. I have my code linked in the description if you want to use that. They'll give you a 7-day free trial. And then I have my codes for all my player props and money lines linked in the description as well. I really want to thank anybody who supports me in any way. I have 2 money line plays that I like. The second one is going to be a little different. I'll explain that after. But the first play is the Real Madrid money line playing away from home, going up against Girona. You can currently get this at -155 on Fliff. They just lost to Bilbao in the game. They should have at least tied, and Mbappe missed a penalty. And I just see this being their get-back game. If you look at some of the games this season, they lost to Lille, next game beat Villarreal. They lost to Barca, next game beat Osasuna. And Girona are winless in their last 3 games, so it's not like they're in good form. And they played twice last season, and Real Madrid beat them pretty handily. They seem to get the upper hand against Girona, even last season when Girona had a great season. Now that their season is not nearly as good as last season, I should expect them to do good as well. In those 2 games last season, they beat them 4-0 at home and 3-0 away. And Vinny hasn't played the last couple games, 1 or 2 games, because he's been injured, but he is back in training. He might not start, but he is going to be on the bench, so he can come off the bench as well and provide that energy for them as well. Real Madrid at the end of the day have the 3rd best defense in the league and the 2nd best attack, so they're still a great team. Even after they still lost those points, they're still really close in the league. And Girona have a leaky defense. They've conceded the 7 most goals overall, and the 3rd most at home. They've conceded 10 goals, and Real Madrid at the end of the day just can't afford to drop points anymore. They're 1 game behind Barcelona, who's in 1st. If they win this game, they'll be 1 point behind, so they just cannot let their biggest rivals get a point gap on them. And they just have a better quality team than this Girona side. They already beat them twice last season with a much better team. I expect them to beat them now. I expect them to just play better than they played in the last game. Bilbao was a much tougher defense. Girona's a leakier defense, so I like this game. I like the Real Madrid money line going up against Girona. And then for the second prop, I want to start something a little different. I'm sure you've seen it before. There's a name for it. I'm just not even sure what it's called. But it's pretty much, we're going to start off with $20. Place a bet. It's going to be anywhere between -200 to -300. And we're going to try to stack that. I guess you can call it a ladder challenge if you want to. But we're going to stack that every day and try to get it. We're going to do a 10-day challenge. If we, on average, do a -250 play and we put those $20 in, after 10 days, it's going to be around 580. Let's just say anywhere between 500 or 600. We're going to try to do a 10-day challenge off of just -200 or -300 plays. And hopefully we're going to start something new there. You can take it every single day up to those 10 days. Or if you want to, take out some profits after like day 3, day 4, do whatever you want to do. But it's something new that I want to try to do, change something up. Just try to just find something new. And the play that I like for day 1 of tomorrow's challenge, I haven't thought of a name for it yet. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. But it's the Frankfurt money line going up against Augsburg at -200 on Fliff. We took them last time they played in the league. They came through for us, and I'm taking them again. They're coming off a disappointing loss in the cup game to Leipzig, but at the end of the day, Leipzig have the best defense at home, so I can't really blame them too much for that. They were on the 7-game win streak before that, and they're still undefeated at home in all competitions. The cup game, they were away, so they weren't even home there. In the Europa League, in the Pokal, and the Champions League or Europa League, the cup they're playing in, they're still undefeated at home in all competitions. To end the league, they've only played 5 games, much less than everybody else. And in those 5 games, they have 4 wins and 1 draw. They've scored 16 goals, so they average over 3 goals a game at home, and have conceded 6 goals. So they have a really, really good attack at home, which is what I like. Much better than Augsburg. They have the 3rd best attack and the 2nd best defense at home. And Augsburg are winless in their 5 away games. They have 1 draw and 4 losses. They've only scored 2 goals in those games and have conceded 15. So Frankfurt average around 3 goals scored a game, and Augsburg concede around 3 goals a game, and they've only been able to score 2 goals. They're just a horrible away side in general. Frankfurt are fully healthy, so they don't have anything holding them back. And with this team, with their Inform Marmouche, Eretike, Mario Gote, great veteran there, they're just a much better team, and they're currently 2nd place in the league. They're in the running to be able to win that, and against a good matchup here, I expect them to get the win. I like this play. I like the Frankfurt money line up for -200 going up against Augsburg for our day 1 of our ladder challenge. Thank you everybody for watching. As I mentioned, if I do have any added plays, it will be in the pinned comment either later tonight or tomorrow morning. And then for those that don't know, I do have a Discord linked in the description. It is not a subscription for that. It is completely free for those that want to join. There's a lot of people always talking there, providing their own plays, providing their own input, not just on soccer, on other sports. It's completely free. If you want to join that, link in the description. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.